wonderful introduction. It sounds to me like you've just described some hyperactive individual who also suffers from attention deficit disorder. I hope my voice will hold out. I've been struggling with bronchitis this week. Please bear with me. Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, members of the board, General Counsel, ODA staff, invited guests, and ladies and gentlemen, this is a most special evening. I am deeply honored and so grateful to receive this most prestigious award. To be included in the company of such distinguished past Barnabus Day Award recipients is extraordinary. To share the limelight with colleagues like Dr. Bill Leggett and Dr. George Sweetman, both of whom I have had the pleasure of working with, both of whom I have tremendous admiration and respect for, is nothing short of magnificent. It's hard to know even where to begin. I would like to start by telling you that I found out about this honor when Dr. Ian McConaughey came to London on a winter's day last December. That it wasn't just any winter's day. It was a day when the city was totally shut down by a spectacular winter storm that left about 4 feet of snow overnight. And nothing was moving except for Ian. I knew I had to meet him at the train station, and I did. I'll never forget that day. There you are, somewhere. There wasn't even a ski hill to entice him with. Thank you for that giant effort. But one has to know Ian to know that he's a giant of a guy in every way. I feel fortunate and privileged to be a dentist. To be part of a profession that I cherish is great. To be given the opportunity to participate in the work of the Ontario Dental Association is icing on the cake. Little did I know what I was getting myself into when I took on the job as a member of the London and District Dental Society executive that would lead to the position of president in 1986. As fate would have it, it turned out to be the year that the profession became embroiled in the fight of our generation, namely the fight against capitation, and London found itself on the front lines. For those of you that don't have gray hair like I do, it was basically a takeover bid by the insurance industry of our profession. It became a front page story in the London Free Press. Fortunately, I had great mentors and friends in London, including Dr. Robin Begg and Dr. Jack McClister and the incomparable Dr. Wes Dunn. I was also able to bring in reinforcements from Toronto, and that was when I met Dr. Bernie Delansky, then president of the ODA, who eventually said to me, "You know, we need guys like you at the ODA. Why don't you run for the Board of Governors?" Thanks, Bernie, for your encouragement and friendship wherever you are. You opened a door for me that I didn't even know existed. I'm also very grateful to my colleagues who trusted me and gave me many opportunities to serve my profession at different levels. It made me realize that I was part of something very special when so many people not only volunteer their time, but do so with a commitment that inspires everyone around them. During this journey, I particularly enjoyed working with the staff of the ODA. They are the unsung heroes and heroines that make this association what it is. People like Frank, Linda, and Pam are just a few examples of the high caliber of people that work at the ODA. I admire your dedication, respect your expertise, and value your friendship. Now, a brief word about John Gillies, who's probably sweating right now because he doesn't know what I'm going to say. It's a quality that I'm sure endeared me to him when I was president. Almost on a daily basis, those of us on management committee had the benefit of what we refer to as Gilliesisms. One that has stayed with me to this day is, if you don't know and you don't ask, you guess badly. Needless to say, I learned to ask a lot of questions. And John responded by saying that micromanagers are people that ask questions I don't want to answer. John, thanks for the memories. As I reflected over the past 20 years, there was no shortage of issues to contend with during my brief stint on management. the capitation battle with the insurance industry, the struggle to get EDI off the ground, the Regulated Health Professions Act, the amalgam controversy, AIDS and infection control, fee guide reviews, even an unusual meeting at Katz's Deli. And the list goes on. One file that I started to work on during my year as past president is the issue of quality assurance, evidence-based dentistry, and clinical practice guidelines. Those of you who know me are aware of the passion that I have for this topic. The ODA was the first organization in Canadian dentistry that understood the meaning, relevance, and need for an evidence-based approach to healthcare. Dentistry in Canada became a world leader in this field with the formation of the Canadian Collaboration for Clinical Practice Guidelines in Dentistry, the CCCB, in 1999. The funding for this initiative came from each and every dentist in Canada, and funds were funneled through the provincial regulatory bodies. It ended last year when the RCDSO and other provincial counterparts decided to no longer fund this important work. They have turned the clock back 15 years to a time when meaningless narrative reviews rather than systematic reviews were the basis of guidelines. The reason I chose to refer to this matter is that I wish to encourage and challenge the young minds of the ODA to take up this important issue and get it back on track. None of these battles could be fought and won by an individual effort. We're all part of a large dental community, and the profession's success is directly related to the fact that we have an organization like the ODA. Our professional freedom depends on it. I'm proud of the ODA for its role in maintaining that freedom. If I have made a difference, and I hope I have, it is because I've had a great supporting cast that includes the time I was involved with the London and District Dental Society, the Ontario Dental Association, and the Canadian Dental Association. Having said all of this, none of it could have happened without the support of my family, and I'm thrilled that my daughter Susan is here tonight. I've also had amazing support from some wonderful friends, great colleagues, and a wonderful office staff. I'd like to, if my two tables there could stand just to acknowledge they're here. Thank you. Thanks to all of you from the bottom of my heart for making me feel like I'm on top of the world tonight. I'm deeply grateful to each and every one of you. Thank you so much.